Dude, you're like in the middle of Saudi Arabia and all of a sudden there's a trash truck passing you at 120. You're like, where am I right now? My name's Seth Quintero. I'm 19 years old from San Marcos, California, and I like to consider myself a professional fun haver. Yeah, so last year was definitely a weird year for my whole race program, really just trying to focus on European racing and rally racing more than I am in the desert, and that had some positives and negatives at the same time. With European racing, like of course we do like Andalusia, Abu Dhabi, Morocco, all these, but we don't want to go win on any of those. I mean, obviously we want to win, but we're strictly there just to develop for Dakar. That's all anybody goes to those races for. So American racing versus European racing, they're two very different animals. American racing, we don't really care about weight, to be honest. We're not weight weenies. And like we build stuff to be bulletproof, but you go to the European side, lightweight, and it's only lasting as long as you need it to. And like we were testing some knuckles that got redesigned, saved 300 grams or something crazy, like nothing like astronomical. And like I'll show you guys a picture, but it literally split perfectly down the center of a billet aluminum piece, and just slit perfectly down the center. Yeah. And everything ripped apart. Everything else stayed intact, but my car went like 3 feet underneath the ground because I was in sand and it just went shovel. Just check this out. So like you see how my car's like out of the sand right there?
Yeah.
Look how deep into the sand I was. Up to my waist inside the car of sand. That's how far and how fast we go, and it just went through the sand. So the belt slipped off my Hans device. I went through the Hans device, smashed my face on the steering wheel, and I bruised 3 bones in my neck and 3 bones in my lower back, which nobody knows about, I've never talked about, ever. I have never posted anything about it, I've never shown anything, but like, I got pictures of like me in my hotel, because I was still at the rally because I couldn't fly home yet, because I couldn't move my neck. I was like sitting in my hotel with like my halo on, like with Abu Dhabi in the background. It was pretty cool, but yeah, we almost missed Dakar this year, which I've never talked about before. I got like videos of me in the hospital. What song was I playing? It was like, somebody call 911. Like I'm all doped up and I'm laying there in like the stretcher.
Whoa!
Can you hear me go? Wait for it.
Ow!
Ow! Yeah, so Dakar is a 14-day long race, 1 prologue, 12 stages, and 1 rest day, averaging usually 7,500 to 9,000 kilometers. Dude, you're like in the middle of Saudi Arabia and all of a sudden there's a trash truck passing you at 120. You're like, where am I right now? Like, this is not right. There's 3 dudes just like bouncing in the cab, like all stoked. And there's like, I have no idea what I'm doing out there. Dakar is very, very different from any racing that we've ever done in the States. I mean, in Mexico, it's a little similar, but Mexico, you're following lines, obviously, and there's hidden waypoints there, VCPs, and it's the same thing in Dakar, but there's no lines. We follow a compass, which is crazy. We follow a compass, and we look out for tires to go around. Usually it's like a tire or a tree or a mountain, a colored mountain is what they go off of. So like, there's an orange sandhill on the right, you're gonna go around it, and you're gonna go to cap 320 for 5 kilometers. And that's the craziest part for Dakar is like they'll send you for 5 kilometers on an average cap and expect you to get within a VCP of 200 meters to unlock the waypoint to now follow it to the waypoint. Yeah, Dakar was a trip. Stage 2 was a really long one. I think it was 460 Ks it was. Led the whole thing. I think we had like an 11-minute lead, and then with technically 45 Ks to go, we lost the front diff. And then after that, I'm like, all right, we could limp it back towards right. We got a big lead, and 15 Ks after that, we soon realized that we weren't gonna make it, and rear diff ended up going. Same guys as last year that towed me. Okay. They ended up pulling up, and like, what's going on? Hopped out, grabbed a cigarette. I was like, oh, hey guys, good to see you guys here. And they're like, you need a ride? Yeah, I need a ride. No matter how hard you slam on your brakes, you're not stopping that thing. They don't even know you're there. You're just swinging around there like you're a rag doll. And it's like, we got towed for, I think only 6 hours this time. Last year it was like 14 hours. This year is only 6 hours, so we're making improvements. So this is stage 5. Again, back in stage 3 dunes. For those people that don't know what a stage 3 dune is in Saudi Arabia, imagine going up Olds, but 5 times. Like, Olds is tiny. Olds is a small dune compared to what's out there in Saudi Arabia. But there was a little bit of stage 1 dunes in the middle of it. And when they say stage 1 dunes, it's like up, down, up, down, up, down. And there's this T5 that was following me, and I could see it from a while back. And like every time I make a turn, I'd come in and I'm like, oh God, he's there. Like just those things breathe down your neck. And you get on a straightaway, they'll go by you, but in the dunes, you guys, I mean, the UTVs are faster. And you get like a little pole, they'll get you, and you're like, oh, this is not good. And we're like going at it, like battling each other through these big dunes because they're just yanking up the hill. And he's coming from my left side, and I'm coming from my right side because DAKAR, there's no track. You go wherever you want, just get to the waypoint. And I'm like, I don't want to get stuck because we're coming at each other up to a peak. I'm like, I'm not getting stuck. I'm not stopping. So I'm going up the hill, and I'm just yanking like as hard as I can to the right, but that tire is coming in like to my window fast, like real fast. And I swear, if I had lifted for 1 second and hesitated and got back on it, I would be underneath the truck, crushed. So we're like coming. He's coming up this way, I'm coming up this way, and I'm like, please God, please God, please God. And I barely make it over. He just goes over me, gone, and just takes off. I'm like, I want to go home. Like, I don't want to be here anymore. It was one of the scariest things ever. Like 40s are big and all, but those are like 80s. Like, they're huge. They're ridiculous. And watching that thing come into my window net was like, oh, there I go. That was fun 19 years, I guess. Racing for me is A, a mental escape. B, it's literally just, I race so I can make people proud. That's all I race for. Like, cool, I won, whatever. But like when I come home and my family's like stoked, or you know, my neighbors are stoked and they're like asking me about it, like that's way cooler to me than any trophy in the world. I think that's it. Like I don't ever race for myself, and I've learned that. I've claimed it multiple times. Like if I go race, it's not for me to be like, oh yeah, I won. Like I don't want to claim it for myself. It's more of like a pride thing. I take a lot of pride in my family's last name, and it's more of a pride thing for that. And obviously, Team America. Duh. So like when I went over to Dakar, that's all I was thinking was just, you know, bring this for the boys back home, and that's all I wanted to do, and that's what we did. So I think that's what racing is for me. It's really just a pride thing.
Every time we climb in our cars and pull our belts tight, new memories and stories are created. We are on a mission to bring these stories to light, both for our community and for those outside off-road to understand the allure. So please help us in sharing these stories.